Man v Fat Swansea, Season 6, Matchday 5 with your coach Howell. I hope you're well. What a night. What an absolute night. I think this quite possibly be record-breaking of a night as well, which was lush to see. Everything was going well. Everything was going more than well, actually. Everything was going absolutely amazingly. The vibe, the energy, everything about last night was just gorgeous to be part of. Honestly. Special mention to Chris, a ref last night. He was absolutely amazing. A lot of guys there saying how complimentary they were of you. Again, thank you so much for stepping in and looking forward to working with you. But let's get going. Let's get started with this straight away. First of all, obviously you've seen this already. I'll go through it really quickly because I don't think we need to go through this over and over and over again, but it's always good to see. So then on the left hand side you see how many players you need to gain how many goals. So then if you've got 1 to 2 players losing weight, you've got a goal on your team. 3 to 4, 2. 5 to 6, 3, etc. Up to 9 players losing weight, you get an extra 5 goals on top of whatever happens on the pitch. Own goals, of course, if you are over your season starting weight and you gain, it's an own goal. If you're over and you lose weight, you don't contribute goals, but you also don't gain an own goal. If you're under the season starting weight, of course, and you lose weight, you qualify for the weekly team bonus goals then, as you can see on the left. Hat-tricks. I put a new feature into this roundup now, and you can see then who is having the hat-tricks of the week. And of course, then that means there's an extra goal on top for every person who's having a hat-trick. And of course, your milestones. Now that's one that we're going to be spending a bit of time on tonight, of course. But every multiple of 5% that you achieve, you get an extra 3 goals for your team. You're limited to 2 milestones a season. Remember that. Any more you need, of course, manvfat.com/manvfat football rules on site with hyphens between them. That is the website you need to go on, and you can see a whole range of rules that we've got on pitch and, of course, off. But then when it comes to off pitch on scale, this is pretty much everything you need. Okay, let's have a look at how the night went. So, I do like these graphics. I'm quite, I'll pat myself on the back for that one. So, Season 6, Matchday 5. We've had a stormer of a night. 112 out of 136, actually. Now, with the new inductees. Attended last night. Goir, of course, tracker bonus goals goes to purple, yellow and green. Team loss bonus goal goes to green. And attendance goes to purple. With Luke Davis, our Season 6 percentage leader, still reigning on top there, of course. For corporate, of course, pink, black and light green had the tracker bonus goals. Team loss bonus goes to light green. That was a stormer of a weight loss, guys. Fair play. And of course, the attendance bonus goes to pink, black and maroon. With Season 6 leader Chris Stevens rocking up there, keeping his place on that throne, of course. Pitch goals, 48. Scales goals. This tells you how epic of a night it was. 85. The most I've ever seen, in actual fact. And of course, coaches bonus goals then at 31, which is reflective of how many people are in the rumble as well. Okay, let's move on. You can see I've got a bit of pace tonight. Look at that list of milestone. Oh wow, can't wait to go through them later on, but we'll start with the left, of course. So the weekly team loss. This is how much accumulative each team has lost through this week, of course, and what's been recorded. So Thinner to Win It at 0.4 kilos, Fat Astuta 1.9, Incredible Bulks at 6.4, Sporting a Beer at 5.8, Marco Ban Fasting 5.5, and Frying Dutchman breaking even, of course. And then on to Goir, on to Copper. I know I'm trying to do this a bit of pace, but I should slow down sometimes. On to Copper, of course, then. Scranra, 4.6 kilos. Vinder Blues at 11.3. Absolutely lush to see there. Pink Panthers, then, with their 3.9 kilo loss. And Fazio, their 4.2. Fat and Furious at 7.3. But you can see, clear as day there, we have got Forest Green Bloaters, 15.6 kilos collective loss. What a loss there. Weekly club loss then, of course, is 66.6 kilos, which is taking us from, in 5 weeks, guys, 5 weeks is taking us up to 242.2 kilo loss collectively. through both leagues, which is absolutely incredible. Biggest losers for Goyer, of course, Brett Johnson with 3.3 kilos, Kyle Lewis rocking with 2.8, and Martin Davis with 2.7 kilo loss there. Amazing to see, guys. And then for Copper, the biggest losers you got there, we've got Ben Hickson, 4.5 kilos, mate. 4.5, amazing. Russ Davey then hitting in with 3.3 kilo loss, and of course, our PF, Clayton Holloway. Amazing, 2.7 kilos there. Amazing to see. Right. This is going to take a bit of time, to be honest with you, but let's see who has been inducted into the milestone clubs this week. So let's go from the top down to the bottom. 5%. Look at that list, guys. Just look at the list. That is unbelievable there. Matt Richards. Welcome, mate. Dan Clarkson, Tom Charville, Ridgeon Evans, Gareth Rice, Nathan Charles, Clayton Holloway, Mark Lockwood, and of course Craig Evans. You've all had your entries into the 5% club there. No one can take that away from you. What a night it was of applause and celebration for the 5% club. Amazing to see. On to the 10% club then. Aaron John, Luke Davis and Chris Stevens, you have made your space known in the 10% club. You've opened those doors, you've shut them behind you, and that is where you are. There's no turning back. There's no going back from that, guys. You've got that. It is yours to keep. Congratulations, guys. And of course, the 15% club. Two absolute legends of the league. We've got our very own Richard Ghazi and Russ Davey there, smashing in the 15% club, shutting that door, no turning back. You have got there, guys. Your feet are firmly there. Congratulations. Absolutely amazing to see. You were in the clubs. You were there to stay, guys. No one can take that away from you. No backsies. You were there, and the only way to go now is on. Let's keep going, guys. Absolutely amazing to see. So we have, if I'm right there, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 inductees to our milestone clubs in 1 week there. Tremendous. Absolutely tremendous, guys. Couldn't be prouder. Seriously. It's I've been smiling and bragging away about this to anyone that would listen today. Unfortunately, I think my wife is sick of hearing about it now, because she's like, okay, yeah, you've had a good night, brilliant. But she, honestly, guys, amazing. Congratulations. Right, let's move on. So, as I said earlier on about the hat tricks, a new feature, guys, something that I thought to myself that a lot of people are asking, did I hit my hat trick? Did I hit my hat trick? And of course, it does come up on the system, but it's always good to see visually following the night who hit hat tricks on that night. So as you can see, all these members are right in front of you now. They've all contributed an extra goal to their teams for hitting that hat trick. So of course we go to Fat Astuta, Matt Richards and Owen Llewellyn. Congratulations, guys, you have achieved that. Incredible Bulks, David Evans, well done. Sporting Beergut, Richard Morgan, fantastic. Marco Van Fasten, I'm reading too far fast, that's the problem, isn't it? Marco Van Fasten, then Kyle Lewis and Neil Simon, you hit your hat tricks last night. Amazing to see. Frying Dutchman, Scott May, well done, bro, absolutely brilliant. And then on to Copper, Clayton Holloway, you hit a hat trick. For the Vinder Blueser, and of course Josh Davis, Jordan Aspeland and Chris Bing, you hit your hat tricks as well. For Pink Panthers then, we got Russ Davey and Danny Davey hitting hat tricks. Brilliant to see there, guys. And for Fazio, Adam Davis, always shocked to see that he's lost. He looks at me as like, seriously, what? Honestly, fantastic, mate. Absolutely brilliant to see there. Forest Green Bloaters, Craig Evans and Sam Jones, you hit your hat tricks last night. And for Fat and Furious, Chris Griffiths and Gareth Lewis, you hit your hat tricks as well. I'm going to put this into every single week for you to see exactly who has achieved what. And I think it's worth celebrating, guys, because you can see exactly how much you're contributing to your teams by hitting those hat tricks as well. Brilliant to see. On we go. So, this is how the matches played part last night. And I'm changing my seating position now because I want to make sure that I get this all right. So, of course, Thinner to Win It and Incredible Bulks were the first teams playing on Goyer's pitch last night. So we had the pitch score was 5-0 due to the fact that it was a forfeit, of course, for Thinner to win it with their low attendance through injury and commitment, of course. So it's 5-0 on the pitch. It was recorded. I know there was a different score when it came to the pitch, but that is how it's recorded if there is some form of forfeit, unfortunately. Scales then, of course, was 10-0 to the Incredible Bulks. 3-3 then on tracking, and of course then bonus scores was 1-5 to the Incredible Bulks, giving an overall there of 4-23 to the Incredible Bulks there. Fantastic game. It was a kickabout, but at the same point, guys, I'm very sure you all enjoyed and had a good sweat on with that as well, especially with last night's temperatures. Fattestuta and Sporting Beergut was the second game in Goir, of course, with a pitch score of 5-3 to Fattestuta. Scales then was 10-7 to Fattestuta. Tracking was 3-3, and the bonus goals then was 4-2 to Fattestuta, giving an overall of 22-15 to Fattestuta. Congratulations, Fattestuta. You were on a roll this season. Absolutely fantastic to see. Marco van Basten and Frying Dutchman was the final game for Goir there, with a pitch score of 12-0 due to borrows, of course. On the pitch, it was 10 plus the 2 that Marco van Basten gained due to the Frying Dutchman borrowing an additional player to them, of course. Scales then, 6-0 to Marco van Basten. Tracking was 3-3, and of course bonus goals then was 1-1, giving an overall there of 22-4 to Marco van Basten. In Goir, I'll get this right. In Copper, of course, it would be an idea for me to label these, and then I've got a little prompt myself. In Copper, Pink Panthers and Vinder Blues was the first game of the night, with a pitch score of 7-3 to the Pink Panthers. Scales then was 6-6, which is going to have an evident effect on the league. And then, of course, tracking was 3-3. Bonus goals was 4-1 to the Pink Panthers, giving an overall of 20-13. The second game was Fazio against Forest Green Bloaters. 4-4 on the pitch, guys, with a Scales result of 2-16 to the Forest Green Bloaters. That was down to the amount of milestones that was hit by them last night. Tracking, of course, that would be 3-3. And then, of course, bonus goals of 2-4 to the Forest Green Bloaters, giving an overall score of 27-11 to Forest Green Bloaters. Congratulations, Forest Green Bloaters. A lot of people are noticing how well you're doing on and off the pitch this season. Final game, of course, was Scranra against Fat and Furious. So the game was 5-0 on the pitch to Scranra. Scales was 10-12 to Fat and Furious. So then that's having an impact on your Scales league, of course. 3-3 on tracking and 3-3 on bonus goals as well, giving an overall there of 21-18. And goodness, you could see how much those milestones were required by Scranra by the end of it. Looking how close that score was coming to the end. Brilliant games, guys. And of course, an extra little feature that I put into it now is the top scorers, because of course we all want to know how close we are and where we are when it comes to the top scorers, of course. So with Goir, of course, Scott Davis is topping that league with 16 goals already in 5 matches. Amazing to see, with Kyle Lewis at 14, Aaron John at 10, Tom Scott at 8, Nick Davis, Darryl Cox, CJ Richard at 7, Chris Church, Carol Phillips at 6, and Carl May at 5. It's still close, guys. One game could change all of that very quickly. And then, of course, with Copper, it's tied at the top there. TG and Dan Landek at 13 goals, with Corey Davis coming up very close at third then with 11 goals. Byron and Alex Kirkhouse then, of course, hitting 7 goals each there for 4th and 5th place. I'm starting to get really confusing myself a little bit here then. And Shaky, Aled Mason, Joe Gear then at 6 goals, and Tom Clayton and James Hartree then at 5. Again, one game changes that and flips it completely on its head, guys, as you can see with the scorelines that we've been having recently. Brilliant to see. And as you can see, I've put down there when it was updated. So at 28 minutes past 5 today, that was when that information was updated. So if there's any discrepancy after that, you know exactly when I took that information off that. Special mention, of course, to Darryl Cox and Aaron Harris then for putting all this together. Honestly, guys, the patience you've got to do that, looking through all those, looking through all the reports, making sure that all of it's set as it is, then I can produce this. It's absolutely lush to see, and thank you so much for your hard work, guys. I'll make sure that we put this in as often as we possibly can. Right. But the halfway mark there. So this is how it's affected the overall table. So in copper, Scranraw with 10 points. A rocking house right at the top there. Five games, 5 wins there. Amazing to see, guys. Well done. You are on it this season, and it's lovely to see how well that you're doing there. Forest Green Bloaters coming up a close second with Pink Panthers, separating them just goal difference alone. Coming in with second and third. Fat and Furious at 4th, and Fazio at 5th with Vinda Blues at 6th place. In good, of course, we've got Incredible Bulks rocking the top there, but it's very close. It's so close on the top there with Incredible Bulks, Fat Astute and Thinner to Win It, all with 8 points. Separating them is merely goal difference. And you can see, again, with the amount of goals that are going in and are actually working, the people are working hard to get those goals throughout our games on the pitch, you can see how quickly that could be flipped on its head. 4th place then is Marco Banfastin with 4 points. 5th place, Sporting Beergat with 2 points. And Frying Dutchman at 6th, of course. But it's a completely different scenario when we look at the scales. So Incredible Bulks are there with 10 points. 5 wins on the scales out of 5. Amazing to see there. With Fat Astute 2nd, Thinner to Win It at 3rd. Sporting Beergat, then Marco Banfastin and the Frying Dutchman at 6th place there. And you can see that those scores are evenly distributed throughout, guys. It's actually quite pretty to see, that is. Multiples of 2 going up in there. And then, of course, we've got Fun Copper, we've got Forest Green Bloaters coming in on top there with 4 wins and 1 loss. Fat and Furious then at 2nd place. Pink Panthers, 3rd. Fazio then at 5th, but they're sharing 5 points there, and it's all about the goal difference again, guys. That, again, could be flipped in no time. Scranraw then at 5th with Vinda Blues at 6th. But again, one game can change a lot of that and change the landscape completely. So you've got to keep on it, guys, especially with the scale stuff. You've got to keep on this because, honestly, that is where the wins really, really matter when it comes down to it. Let's move on. So this is the team of the week, guys. This is the team that your captains and your teammates have all voted who deserve a special mention because of their efforts coming through. So we'll start then, straight from the top then. We'll go for Fat Astute, Matt Richards, Dan Clarkson, 5%, guys. Amazing. Well done. Brilliant to see that you've been mentioned for that. For the Yellows then, we've got Richard Ghazi hitting his 15%. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Then we've got Kyle Bamford for Thinner to Win It. Just consistently losing like an absolute machine. Losing 1.5 kilos this week. Brilliant to see. The boys in blue, but actually in green. Aaron John, Tom Charville. Sorry, Steve, I nicked your line there from the report. 10% and 5% losses there, guys. Amazing to see the commitment you're putting into it. Chris Davis and Taylor Perry for the Oranges. Your first week, you're getting into it, you're starting your journey. It's lush to see that you've been mentioned by your captain there for just getting into it and starting your journey there. The only way is up now, guys. Let's go for it. Let's get this journey going, and I'll see some epic losses from you both in as you're going along. And of course, Luke Davis hitting you 10%, Marco Banfastin. What a result. Amazing to see. Then, Light Blues, Fazio. The whole team have been noted here because every single one of them lost weight. The commitment on that team is impeccable to see. And honestly, the celebration, the community, It's lush. It's absolutely lush. Well done, guys. I love the way that that's been noted. And you're not the only ones, of course, because the Vinder Blues have also nominated the whole team for everyone losing and everybody putting that commitment in to making a difference on the scales. Fantastic to see. It's only going to make us all so much better, just losing that extra bit of timber and making us feel more comfortable in our own bodies. It's amazing to see there. Russ Davey, 15%, mate. 15%. Amazing to see. Congratulations, pal. Then Clayton Holloway and Mark Lockwood smashing in your 5% there. Gorgeous to see. Giving your team some amazing goals in the process. We then got Gareth Wright and Rydian Evans hitting your 5% then for the Fat and Furious. Fantastic to see. Brilliant commitment there, guys. Couldn't be proud of you. Honestly, it's lush to see your journeys hitting such a rolling start there. Brilliant to see. And of course, Ben Hickson for the light greens. Forest green bloaters. 4.5 kilo loss, mate. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant to see. And lush to see your journey hitting with such a running start. Brilliant to see. That's your team of the week. Congratulations, guys. You all deserve that accolade there. Well done. Okay. Let's have a look what's next now then. So this is what we are all pushing for right now. We have got the Rumble. So the Rumble is based purely for consistency. Consistency of weight, either maintaining or loss. Okay, so if you gain weight, you're out. There's no backsies on that. If you gain weight, you're out. Of course, you've got to consider the fact that some people are on shift, some people are there. If you speak to us, we know what's going on, we continue. If it's just a thing you don't get in contact, there's not much I can do except for the fact that you're non-attending, and then you're over the top rope, guys. But of course, you can see that we've got 45 remaining. 91 have gone over the top rope, and 45 are remaining. 5 weeks, guys, of the league. Then we've got another 4 weeks of cup. 45. We can do this. We can get that going. Let's get that number as high as we possibly can. Right. And this takes us to next week's fixtures. So, in Matchday 6, we've got Sporting a Beergut against the Flying Dutchman at 7 o'clock. Then we've got Marco Banfastin against the Incredible Bulks at 7:30. And then we've got Thinner 2 in it against Fat Astuta at 8 o'clock. And then for Copper, we've got Forest Green Bloaters against the Fat and Furious at 7 o'clock. We've then got Scranra against Vinder Blues at 7:30. And we've got Pink Panthers against Fazio at 8 o'clock. It's all going again, guys. We're at the halfway mark of this season and it's going all over again. And it's lush to see how we're going to be doing going forward from there. That's been the Roundup, guys, and honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure to do this week. It's so much celebration, and it just fills me with pride just being that person who can push it on. And it's very prevalent for having such a celebration this week because, of course, on Saturday we are celebrating in the National Awards of Man v Fat in Manchester, and honestly, I'll be going up there with our absolute champions that are named on the screen there. And of course, we've been voted and we've nominated as Club of the Year. We're the largest club in the UK. We're national champions. We're looking like, as it's going right now, obviously, we've got one more game to go with Copper, but as it's looking right now, we could be Welsh 11s League champions with either Gwyr or Copper by the end of this season as well, which is an absolute fantastic result for a league that realistically, how old are we now? We're not even 2 years old yet, I think. It's fantastic to see. We've got 6 more places left, and then we have already hit our capacity of 144 for this season. We're in talks right now of possibly expanding to 16 teams next season with a reshuffle. Honestly, the only way is up with this, guys. But Club of the Year Swansea, we are there. And we're going to be there to either support everyone who's been nominated or accept it ourselves. But either way, guys, just having the recognition that we have been identified as Club of the Year is such a point of pride. Coach of the Year, the architect, Ben Gleeson. Honestly, mate, without you, none of this would have been possible. You You formulated exactly what Swansea needed. You embraced the community that we had. You pushed this exactly the way that it needed to be pushed. And then you handed it over. And, well, I'll leave it to our members to decide whether it's gone to the same calibre. But honestly, it's a joy to be at the helm here, holding on to exactly the standard that you have left. And honestly, it's an honour for myself as the coach of Swansea to be in a position where I'm in the same company as the likes of yourself. Honestly, I'm gonna get emotional if I carry on, but I'm gonna stop there. Ben Gleeson, you 100% deserve this. 100% deserve it, and honestly, we are all behind you to make sure that you get there. Our amazing loser and MVP, Chris Shaw. What a man. What a man. 40% of your weight loss gone. 61 kilos. Just anything about this man is inspirational, right? On a personal level, on my own professional level, being a work colleague of his, and as well being a former teammate with Scramra and friend. You're inspirational, mate. You're absolutely inspirational. It's an absolute honour to be in a position where I can say that I've been all those things with you. You've been my mentor. You've been a person who I've turned to for advice. You've been a weight loss buddy. You've been a teammate. You've been a person who has been there every single time. MVP, 100%. Amazing loser, 100%. Even to the point where yourself and Josh Howells, I will give you a mention there, are actually playing in the Man v Fat Amazing Losers match. And your teammates as well, which is gorgeous to see. Honestly, I'm going to make every single effort to come up to that as well in Stoke, because it's going to be an amazing experience. And you got pretty nice clobber out of it, so I'm quite jealous there as well. I need to get some merch as well. You all know how much I love a bit of merch. 11th player of the year, Craig Vinny Bowles. Wholly deserved there. What a player. And honestly, I've played on the same side as you, but I've also played against you. And I know which side I'd rather be on, to be honest with you. The guy is just amazing when it comes to when it comes to 11s football. He's amazing as a person. His insights into how we can expand this even further. We've got things in production right now, and we're looking at possibly expanding our ideas onto you guys. But honestly, we are in a position where it's going to be. We're looking forward to this. Best of luck to you, mate. You wholeheartedly deserve it. And of course, our media mogul, Mr. Dan Hunt. Honestly, the stuff that this guy has produced, the ideas this guy's had, the time, the effort, everything that you've put into it. Thank you. 100% thank you. I can't think of anyone else who deserves that more than you, mate. I know there's names on that list, but those names aren't Dan Hunt. You deserve this, mate. And honestly, I wish you the very best. You're playing in Bridgend right now. You're giving the same serves to Bridgend as well. And I'm a fellow member in Bridgend with you. And honestly, it's gorgeous to see how much you are willing to give to make sure that everyone's experience is as it has been with Swansea. And honestly, you not being in Swansea right now has left a massive hole for us. But honestly, everything that you've done has just made us strive to want that more. Thank you, mate. Honestly, thank you. And that is the roundup, guys. That is the roundup. All I'll say to you right now, we gave lots of advice out throughout the night. Lots of things that I would say to you is, if something's not working, listen to your body. If you've dropped your calories too low, listen to your body, right? Put them up a little bit, because it's better for you to be consistent than it is for you to have those massive losses and then the massive gain because it's inconsistent for you to carry on. Think about that, guys. It's important for you to think of it. Look at your calories, look at how you are, look at where you've based your target. And if you think to yourself, I hit my target and I'm just craving. When you put it up an extra 100 and then have that little thing just to take the bite out of it. Don't go mental. Don't go crazy. You know, if you've dropped it down too low, you're going to end up being in a position where it's not sustainable. So it's very important for you to make sure that you listen to your body. Listen to the types of foods that you're eating. If there's things that you're eating and then all of a sudden you think, oh, wow, I'm gaining when I'm eating this. This is the stuff that you need to listen to. Oh, my battery's gone low now. That's probably gone on the camera. That's it from me. Have an amazing week, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I'll speak to you soon.